Welcome everybody to a nice episode of Generation Sports. We're calling this one Fantasy Edition because we're going to be talking a little bit about our fantasy league. I got my boy here, Mr. Filter. Go ahead and say hi to everybody.
I'm also the reigning champ and moving up in the ranks while moving up in your heart.
That's right. He is currently the reigning champ. I am currently your reigning commissioner. This is the Golden Goose League. For those of you who don't know, this is our main league, and so we're going to talk a little bit about it. Right now, I do have the rankings up for everybody to see of where everybody currently is in the standings. We have 5 weeks left, and what we're trying to do is we're going to go ahead and try to break down where do we think people are going to finish and who's going to make the playoffs, who's in and out. So we're literally going to go through each week for the next 5 weeks and decide who's going to win the matchup based on our opinion and why we feel that way. I'll be able to show you the matchup so you guys can take a look at it on the screen, and then you guys can give some feedback in the comments or let us know what you guys think. So right now we have number one. He's standing at 7-2, and he is currently the points leader as well. We have Terry, second place right now with a three-way tie for record, but he's beating out the points by, what is that, 8 points, 9 points? Not much, 10 points. So, about 10 points-ish. We have Manny. Number 3, you have Mr. Filter himself. Fourth, we got Kenny. Then we got, and those are in the three-way tie. The points are the tiebreaker. Then we have another three-way tie for 5, 6, and 7. We have Gary, Izzy, and Chris. And then we have eighth is Bobby, tied with Zoe at 4 and 5. And then you have myself sitting at number 10 all alone at 3 and 6. Not a very great start to my season. And then you got D and you got AJ pulling up the rear just because we all know he likes the rear. So anyway, without further ado, I guess we can just go hop right in and then let's talk about what was it, week 11? Or no, week 10, right? We're going to be in week 10. Yeah,
yep.
Real quick, a little recap because I have it up on the screen. I went ahead and I beat D to go to 3 and 6, and Bob beat AJ. You beat Manny to tie that up. We had Terry beating Kenny due to an injury by the quarterback, unfortunately, Kenny. And then you got Chris beating Gary, and then you had Zoe losing to Izzy. So, where do we want to start? Whose matchup you want to start with?
Well, all right, so you want to go matchup for matchup? I was going to say we'll go start at top Terry plays the next 5 weeks.
That's perfectly fine. We can do it that way.
Yeah, I think it'll be more efficient that way. It'll take forever for us to go through each matchup each week.
Okay, so let me click on Terry's team here, and let's go ahead and we're going to look at matchups. Hold on, folks. Sorry, I got to get into this properly. Where is this guy? There he is. Oh, wait. All right. There we go. Week 10 matchup. All right, so week 10 matchup right now. We have Gary versus Terry. So what do you see on this? Right now, he is projected to win is Terry, 171 to 164. What do you got?
All right, let me get to week 10. I was on week 13. All right, so here I have Terry winning this one.
I will concur. I agree. I got Terry with the victory. I think it's pretty safe to say he doesn't have anybody on a bye. Kareem
Hunt's not back yet.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt's not back yet. And Derrick Henry going down puts him a bit of a predicament right now. He doesn't have much in the running back world. And I don't know how I feel about Freeman. He could be hit or miss. So I definitely like Terry in this one. I think that's a pretty easy one for Terry on week 10. So we have Terry going to 8-2. I should probably write this stuff down, but...
No, I got it at the end.
Okay, good. All right. Well,
at least for you, you need to have yours. Like mine, I already got it written down.
All right, so I'll just add that in. So that puts him at 8-2. Okay, I can just add that real quick. That's simple enough. All right, so we're gonna go on to week 11.
Yep.
Week 11. Ooh, he's facing Mr. Krabby Karen, aka Filter yourself. How do you see this one playing out?
Oh, I'm losing this one.
Okay, even with a couple players on buys.
Yeah, but first of all, we're talking about Terry, and as we'll see when it's all said and done, I think Terry probably has the easiest schedule remaining, and Terry finds a way.
I would agree. I have Terry winning that matchup.
Yeah,
so I mean, I'm not arguing it. I'm just curious why. But no,
trust me, I want to pick myself to win, but
because I mean, you're
just
projected
every time.
You're projected to right now slaughter him. Even
Yeah,
I mean,
but you don't have a flex, you don't have a kicker, you don't have a defense. They're all on buys.
And the thing is, I guess Howard's right now is not showing any points, but Howard seems to be the starting running back out there in Philly, and he easily could add Howard into the flex, who could be about the same as, around the same thing as Eckler with a flex. And then when you put in the kicker, his projections could be right there with you.
Yeah. So, but I'm giving Terry the W on that.
I don't disagree. So I think that's an easy one. So let's move on to week 12. It is, I think this one's an easy one too. We got D and Terry, and even with Kelsey on a bye, D has like no chance. He got his players on a bye, and his bench is not looking like he has much to fill it in with.
No, that's an easy W. Move on.
All right, hold on. Let me just add this to next to his name as 10 and 2, so I can have the records there. All right, let's go on to week 13, and it's AJ and Terry. I think once again, it's an easy win.
This is where, hey, I got Terry as a loss on this one.
Actually, let me check my records because I might.
Now remember,
week 13, I still got Terry.
Yeah, but are you thinking that Barkley and Chris Carson will be in his lineup by then?
Yes, I can see.
I think AJ. When we go through AJ, I think after a certain week, AJ, we'll discuss it when we get to the finale. But AJ can definitely play spoiler, and I have this.
Listen, I don't disagree. Barkley should be back, right? And so I definitely agree with that, right? And Chris Carson should hopefully be back. So you throw them in, but.
And Aaron Rodgers as well.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers as well. I don't disagree. Tannehill is on a bye, but he'll have Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but
back.
Wilson be back as well.
Yeah.
Again, this is one that I put as win/loss. Like, this is a toss-up to me, but I still gave the win. I still gave the win to AJ for two reasons. One, I like Barkley against Miami. Right? Miami is horrible.
Yeah.
And then Carson against San Francisco. We just seen what goddamn James Conner did as a 49er fan. But
I know.
I think this is going to be very close, but I gave the edge. I gave the edge to AJ on this one.
I got to give the edge to Terry. I just think Harris, against Baltimore, that's going to be a running matchup. So I think Harris could have a really good game. He'll have Wilson back, and I think Howard is just going to be more in tune, and he's going to be playing the Jets. So, I think he'll be okay at running back.
Yeah, but Howard, you're forgetting that Sanders is going to be back. Sanders might be back next week. So that's why you see Howard with the. And if he's not back next week, he'll definitely be back by this matchup. Howard will be irrelevant.
Yeah. AJ Green, he'll have back available as a flex. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be close.
Exactly. That's why I put this as one as a win/loss. But
yeah, if I have
I'm giving this one.
If anything, listen. I have a rule of thumb: the tie goes to Terry. That's it. He finds a way. Tie goes to Terry. That's how I feel. All
right. Fair enough.
So let me add that in. Terry will be, in my opinion, 11 and 2. I know you have it differently, but that's fine.
Yeah, we'll compare here after we go through this last one where you got him and what I got him.
I don't see Terry losing. I have the next matchup. He plays against me. I honestly don't see a real way that I'm going to win this one. So I got Terry at 12 and 2. I really don't. I got Smith on a bye. I got Harris on a bye. I don't really have a lot in the place of that because Booker won't be a factor by then, so I won't be able to use him. Murray, hopefully he's back, but I don't know what's going to happen with the way that Freeman's playing. Murray may not do much, so I could be hurting a little bit there at the running back position.
No, I have him as a win as well. Okay. So in the final, you have him at what?
I have
12-2.
12-2, and taking first place. Because if he doesn't lose any more games, there's no way he's not going to be in first place. And I don't have him losing. I have him winning out. So
actually, correction. I have him losing against me. I have him winning against Gary, D, and you, losing to me and AJ, and I have Terry at 10-4.
Okay. All right. So, a little disagreement there.
Yeah.
But like I say,
but still,
the only reason I haven't beaten you, I'll be honest. The only reason why I haven't beaten you is because that's like a grudge match. And once again, you're gonna be out there crying in the chat. Terry finds a way. Terry finds a way.
It's not crying. That's anger.
I'm just saying.
That is anger.
He's gonna find a fucking way. We know that.
Me and AJ were talking about this. I don't think this dude in the past 5 years has not had a first round bye.
I don't
5 years in a row.
Yeah.
5 years in a row that this dude has been either first or second in this league. That is absurd.
I agree. Completely crazy. All right. So do you want to go down the list then, and we'll go to Manny next?
Manny's next.
All right. So we'll go to the Manny matchup. All right. So we have Manny versus D in week 10.
That's a W.
I agree.
Manny has there's two teams on here that I'm legitimately like, and Manny's one of them, where I'm like, damn, man, Manny, where do you see Manny's fault being at on his team, with minus any injury or anything crazy like that?
I don't think he has fault. I do think that there are some hit or miss players, though, and that's what concerns me, right? I definitely think Tyreek Hill's hit or miss right now with the way they're playing. Now that could change, but it's not like the Tyreek Hill of the past where you're feeling really good. Tyreek Hill could come out and have one of those games that he gets you like 5 points. You know what I mean? Julio Jones, hit or miss, right? Mike Evans seems really consistent, but we've seen in the past he can put up a donut in a game. You just don't, you know what I mean? It's not impossible. Elliott can be hit or miss right now.
But you're right. But you're thinking worst case scenario, right? Where when I try to do this, I try to look when I was doing, so everybody knows that's listening. When I went through these teams, I'm like, all right, best case scenario. Now, worst case scenario.
I'm not saying that's how I judge the wins losses that we're talking about. You're asking me where do I see the fault in his team, and I'm saying that I think he has a lot of boom or bust players. So if we're talking about long term, I see him. We'll go through it in a second. I don't see him losing much in these matchups, except for when he has a couple of really important people on buys. But if you're talking about the weakness of his team, they're not guaranteed every week players. You know what I'm saying? They're just, some of them are going to be boom or bust. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, fair enough. But D, a W.
I do. I agree. Going into the next week, which is week 11. Hold on, actually, they got the wrong person there. So let me type on him. Fuego. Why is it not clicking in?
I'll go while you're doing that.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's playing AJ, and again, we don't know.
Okay.
We don't know if Carr's coming back. We don't know if Barkley, but he is projected for Barkley and him both to be back. But again, Zeke against Kansas City, Fournette against the Giants.
I agree. I got
Mixon against the Raiders. It's like, that's a W.
Because I think because I even think if these guys are back, you don't know the workload. I'm not confident necessarily in the workload they're going to get. I think if this was the week after and they were facing each other, I might lean towards AJ.
Even full strength. I personally think Manny has the best team in our league.
Okay,
that's just my opinion.
All right.
So I got a W with that one.
All right. I have next him playing me in week 12, and I personally think I got this one. That's
interesting.
because Kyler's on a bye, Tyreek Hill's on a bye, right? So Leonard Fournette's playing Indy, who has a really good defense right now and a really good run-stopping defense. So that's not like that's going to blow up. Landry's playing against, well, I mean, he'll have Joe Mixon. I get it. He'll be able to throw him into a flex, but he's going to be playing Pittsburgh, so that doesn't necessarily bode great for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at the matchups, I think I have an event. Julio Jones versus New England. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think these matchups are going to be the best for him. And then Montgomery's playing Detroit, right? That should be pretty good there. Corey Davis is playing against Houston. D. Smith against the Giants. Keenan Allen versus Denver. Maybe that's tough. I don't know. But I definitely...
If you take out Corey Davis, like right now, I had him as a win against you, but now because again, I told you this before. To anybody who's listening, Sheckman didn't have a running back or a flex spot in, but I am now taking out the W and putting in an L. I agree with you.
Okay.
I agree with you.
So I think I can pull that one off. So
I'm not disagreeing with us.
Yeah.
No.
I think I just get him at the right time is what it's going to end up being. That's what.
And then once you put Robert Woods in instead of Corey Davis, because it's dumb to fucking have Robert Woods on your bench. But
yeah, Robert Woods will be in as well instead of Corey Davis.
Yeah.
There was a week before that he was on a bye, so I was trying to get a little bit of an idea of where people will be. The only person I have on a bye that week is my kicker, and I can fill in a kicker, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that.
Okay.
All right.
So let's go to week 13. So week 13. Oh, hold on. It did it again here.
He's playing Bob's team.
I have. Why does it keep doing that? Oh well, let me just do it this way.
And this is another person, Bob, who's never going to listen to this, but I think personally, without injuries or anything happening, I think Bob has the second best team in this league.
Yeah, I got Bob winning this matchup.
I do as well.
I got Jones on the bye, Landry on a bye, Crosby on a bye. I don't think that does great for him. And then, so I definitely think.
Well, a kicker and Landry, but remember, you don't have Mixon in it.
Correct, and that's
so
he can put Mixon in the flex. Correct.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. And then, but he doesn't really have a receiver though. To replace.
No, but again, I
Shepard
agree.
Could be back. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but even then.
But
I still, we both agree.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the matchups again, right? Like, if you look at, Mike Evans versus Atlanta, like Tampa Bay versus Atlanta, that should be a really good matchup for them. But Elliott goes against New Orleans. Their defense is looking a lot better, right? So you don't know what's going to happen there necessarily. So I just think there's definitely some matchups there, but I definitely got D taking the W on that one.
You mean Bob?
Bob. Yeah, Bob.
I agree.
So, all right, so let's go on to week 13. And
week 14.
Nope, we just did.
Oh, yeah, week 13 was Bob.
Yeah.
This is going to be Chris.
Yes, Chris. Okay. What do you got?
Oh, I got Manny winning this one.
I do as well. So
I got Manny winning that one. Let me switch this.
So that puts Manny with a record of 9-5.
Agreed.
To finish out the season.
But super dangerous come playoff time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sorry for people who hear me clicking. I'm just trying to do a separate type out of what people's records are going to be so I can have it a little bit more organized. All right. So right now I got Terry. I personally have Terry at 10-2. You have him at
10-4.
Oh, 10-4. So I have him at 12-2. Sorry. 12-2. And then you have him at 10-4. And then I have Manny at 9-5, and you agree?
Correct.
Okay. Cool. All right. Who's next up on our list? It's you, right? All right. Sorry about that little delay, guys. Sometimes, during, these live recordings, things happen. But we're back, and we're better than ever. Anyway, all right. So we're starting with the third place team, Krabby Karen versus Chris. So Filter versus Chris. You said you got yourself winning, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I would agree with that one. I'm pretty sure. Let me scroll back up. I definitely had you winning that one, so that puts you at 7-3. Alrighty. So yeah, I would agree. I think that's a no-brainer there. You got him in the bag. All right. So next you're playing against Terry, and I think we already talked about that one. That I had Terry finding a way. So I'm gonna go ahead and you said you felt that you were going to win that one, so
yes.
we'll tally those up at the end. But I think we can skip this matchup then, right?
Correct.
All right. Then I have you going against Izzy, so you're on to Cincinnati. All right. Well, how do you have yourself faring out there?
I have this as a win as well. He's without Connor. Connor's on a bye. I like my flex over his flex. Antonio Brown's still not healthy. He has him as a starter, but right now literally as you were off, Tim Bay just signed Perryman, so that's not good for Antonio Brown.
Yeah, so I definitely agree. I don't see Brown being in necessarily. I don't love Russell Gage necessarily, because by that time, if I'm not mistaken, what's his name's eligible to be back. What, I forgot his name. Who's the other receiver in Atlanta?
There is no other receiver. Are you talking about Calvin Ridley?
Yeah, Calvin Ridley should be back. Should be designated to be back by then.
But wait a minute. Calvin Ridley said he's taking off time for personal reasons. He's not on IR.
No, he's on a 3-week. They put him on a 3-week non-injury IR. So he's definitely out for 3 weeks without a doubt.
But we don't know if he's come back.
Correct,
based off his stuff.
I understand, but I'm projecting him to be back. That's what I said. So that will bring down Russell Gage, like you said, Brown. So I agree. I definitely I had you winning this one. It's the bottom line. But he has Calvin Ridley. So actually,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But to me, it doesn't matter. I got the W against.
Yeah, I got that with you. So, all right. So let's move on to the next week. Week 13, you versus Zoe.
That's a W.
I agree with that one. I also have you having a W.
Yeah, he don't have McCaffrey, and without McCaffrey, well.
Yeah, it's not looking good for that guy. I do feel bad for the way his team's looking out. He will have Jamar Chase.
I feel bad for no one.
And then you don't know how bad the injury is to Edmonds, so that doesn't help him either. So hopefully that's a short-term thing for him, because that's not looking good.
Well, 3 weeks at minus, so he's still not going to be back.
Yeah. All right, week 14, you versus Kenny.
I have an L for that one.
I agree. I got Kenny winning that one. So I would agree with that. So that puts you, tied with Manny at 9-5.
See, we have a switch, so I'm at 10-4.
All right, so 9-5 / So you have yourself with the same record as Terry, but Terry being ahead of you probably in the points.
But as of right now, because we're still close in points, we're not that far apart.
Okay, so then that's fine. We won't talk about the point part then. That's fine.
No, we won't do that until we get to we go through first through 12.
All right. So next up on the list was
Kenny.
All right. So Kenny faces Izzy, but he could be Chubless this week.
Yeah. See, I put a question mark with Chubb right next to this. If Chubb plays, which Chubb is vaccinated, all he has to do is pass 2 tests and he'll be good. So as long as he's vaccinated, it doesn't affect him. If he has Chubb, I think.
Hey, hold on 2 seconds. I think the dogs are barking. I want to make sure no one's at the door. Just keep talking.
So with Kenny, now if Chubb doesn't play, this will turn to a win for Kenny. But man, Kenny's second and third wide receiver is hurting in this game. No Brandon Cooks. So he's rolling with Beasley and Bateman.
All right, I'm back. My bad. Man,
I was just saying why I think Izzy would win. If Chubb plays, Kenny's wide receiver, Brandon Cooks on a bye. We don't know what's going on with Gronk, and he has Beasley and Bateman. And right now, with Connor being the main guy, so we got Connor, Chubb, Melvin Gordon against Patterson, Henderson, Aaron Jones.
I look at the matchups though. I don't know how much I love Connor versus Carolina.
Carolina still. I mean, I understand
run defense though, man. Like it's just. I'm not saying they're not gonna, like Arizona won't win the game. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about player matchups. I don't think that's a great matchup.
Well, like I said, if Chubb plays, I got him losing Izzy.
I agree, but I'm putting Chubb out, so I put Kenny winning.
Yeah, but for right now, let's just say Chubb's in. Because again, it was caught early, and if he's vaccinated, all he has to do is pass two tests. And most of the people that so far in the NFL that's been vaccinated, and their game's not like on a Thursday, seem to be able to play.
I get you.
So if Chubb plays, what do you have it as? Let's do it as that for right now.
If Chubb plays, I got Izzy winning.
Okay, so let's roll with that for right now.
But that's fine. So that's going to change.
Yeah, just to make it. Yeah, of course, it's going to change. But
all right. So let me take that out and let me type in Izzy here. All right, that's fine. I'll put Izzy in. Okay. Next matchup.
This is against Zoe.
Against Zoe. I got Kenny winning that one.
I have. See, this is another one. Let me look at this. I have this win-loss, meaning that this is going to be close to me.
He has no Stafford, no Sutton, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, like Stafford's.
He's going to put in. He's going to put in Chase.
Correct. I agree there.
But you don't have Darrell Henderson.
Yeah, true. But he could put Patterson in as running back.
And he can put Cooks in as a wide receiver, but who's he running as a flex?
Yeah, I mean, I can see a little trouble there. Callaway could throw in there as a flex, Ingram as a flex. I mean, there's a couple options there.
And then Tampa Bay going against the Giants, I can see that being like a bigger thing. Plus, you don't have a kicker. So, Myers against Atlanta.
That could just be a running game. I mean,
to run. But now remember, Miles Sanders should be back by that. Now he's going up against New Orleans, but that's why this was one of the tougher ones. What do you have? You have Kenny winning?
I have Kenny winning, but I mean, I'm not like it's one of those things. I think the biggest
difference. This is gonna be a close one.
I think the biggest difference right now, is going to be that quarterback, because who does he get at quarterback? Because Brady could put up some big numbers against the Giants. I mean, for all I know, that's where I think the difference is going to be.
All right,
Marvin Jones, I'm not in love with Marvin Jones, and Myers against Atlanta should be a good matchup. But if they he's not doing great out there every week, so that's a little concerning. And yeah, you're to take out McKissick and put in Sanders. So yeah, I like that, but then he's still. I mean, look at his flex. I don't know. I don't think it's
Renfro's doing work. I mean, he's a 14 to 16
he can also
point
put
guy.
In Mooney. Mooney's definitely a solid flex option there.
So as of right now, based off the record that I have Kenny losing this one.
I got Kenny winning this one. I'm keeping Kenny on this one.
All right.
Like I got the other one.
I'll stay with Zoe.
But I'm keeping Kenny there. All right. Let's go into the next one. Him versus Bob.
I have that as L as well.
Really? Even with Patrick Mahomes out, huh?
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes hasn't been doing much.
No, I know, but Kenny has literally nobody on a bye. Taylor versus.
Yeah, but I really like Debo versus Minnesota, Pittman versus Tampa Bay, Thielen versus fucking San Francisco. Taylor versus Tampa, we'll see about that. But Jacobs against Dallas, I really like his matchups in this one. And where Kenny is hurting very much so is his wide receiver. Even if you put Cooks in, right, going against Jets, but his wide receivers right now are what hold Kenny back.
Yeah, I mean, but even so,
like
Kenny
like right now they're already talking about benching Sam Darnold and putting in what's his name? Like, what is that? How does that reflect against DJ Moore? So
yeah, I mean, Kenny should have beat Terry this week if it wasn't for his quarterback getting injured. Like his team,
yeah, but he did
well.
how many points? Yeah, but how many points did he score?
Yeah, all right.
So again, I really like Bob's team. I like his flex spot, his running backs. I really think it's going to come down to probably Gronk.
Yeah, I'm not
the tight end spot, but yeah. I like his wide receivers way better than I like Kenny's wide receivers. And the running backs are kind of similar. Terry to Andrew Jones, Jacobs to Henderson, and James Robinson to Patterson.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I can definitely see it. All right.
So,
all right. Let's look at the next one. Kenny versus Gary.
I have him winning that one.
I have Gary winning that one.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I mean, you got Moore on a bye. You got Aaron Jones on a bye, right? You got Green Bay's defense on a bye. So I mean,
the defense. I don't.
I'm just saying that still, but I mean, the only person that he has on a bye is Devontae Adams. So like,
yeah, but that's big because again, he has Elijah Moore and he has.
But Kareem Hunt could be back by then.
Huh?
Kareem Hunt could be back by then, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could. He should be.
Yeah. So.
But Carter against Philly. Philly's pretty stingent against running backs, right? And then he has no, Elijah Moore, no Devontae Adams. I don't know. Again, this is one of the ones that have win-lose, so it means it's close to me. But I have Kenny pulling out the W.
Yeah, I got Gary pulling out that one. So, all right, and then the last week
is me.
Is versus you, and
he's taking the win on that one.
Yeah, I got Kenny winning.
Yeah, I got Hurts is on a bye. Gaskins is on a bye. So yeah, I have Kenny winning that one as well. So I have Kenny finishing as 9-6.
I have Kenny as 8-6.
Well, how could it be 8-6? You're missing a game.
Am I?
Oh no, you're right. He's at 6. 1, 2, 3, 9. 1, 2. Wait a minute. What I say? He's gonna lose as though I said that right.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, so yeah, I have him as 8-6.
So we both have him with the same record.
Correct. Okay. We just have
different wins and losses. That's all.
Correct.
All right. Who is next on our list?
Gary.
All right. So I think we already talked about this one, and we had Gary losing, right? Him versus Terry.
Yep.
Okay, so we got that. So we'll skip that one. Then he's playing Izzy.
I have him beating Izzy.
So do I.
I think Izzy has some. And again, I'm also doing this with Kareem Hunt will be on his team by then.
Okay, but I also have Gary winning. So he's
he don't have
3, right? No, 5-4.
Yeah, he don't have Melvin Gordon or Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, 5-4. So that would be 5-5. So that puts him at 6-4 there. Okay, so yeah, I agree. I got Gary winning that one.
Yeah, you don't have Kupp, Melvin Gordon. So yeah.
All right, then I
got Gary winning that one.
And then we got Gary versus Zoe.
This was another close one.
I got Gary pulling it out just because of the receiving core. I know Sanders gonna be back. That's gonna help his running back, but I got so should Hunt. So I like the overall team, I think, and Stafford's gonna be playing Green Bay. I think that's gonna be a tougher matchup than people think. So.
Man, Zoe's out of all the teams, like Zoe was the question mark to probably the most. I don't know who to pick out of these two, but as of right now, based off the record, let's see, Gary, I have him at 5-4, so that's loss. So yeah, I have him losing against Zoe.
Okay, you have, and I don't, so we'll just keep that different.
Yeah.
All right, week 13, Kenny versus Gary. I forget what we had said. I had Gary winning that one.
Yep, I did as well.
All right, so that would go from 7 to 8-4. All right, and then week 14, him versus Bob, and I had Bob winning that one.
Ooh, how'd you come to that conclusion? No Taylor, no Pittman.
Maybe I was looking at it wrong.
He's missing two. Now we don't know where Odell's going to go, but
yeah, Hunt's going to be back. So I give you. Yep. So I get that. But Carter's going to get New Orleans. So I don't love that at all. I think they're going to just like eat him alive. So I don't think that's going to be great. Hunt's playing against Baltimore. So I'm not, and Chubb's going to be there too. So they're splitting time. So I don't love the running back there. Elijah Moore, then I don't love because he's playing against New Orleans as well. Adams should be fine. Diggs against Tampa Bay. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, and then you look at some of the other matchups. I mean, right now, Cincinnati's defense doesn't look great. It could change by the time we get there, but Samuels against Cincinnati should be a really good matchup. Jacobs versus Kansas City. Kansas City can't do shit. So unless something changes, I like that matchup, right? Robinson versus Tennessee. I don't love that. So I don't know. I don't love the matchups that Gary has versus I like a lot of the Bob matchups.
No, fair enough.
So I mean that's what it comes down to. I'm looking at matchups, and that's where I see him having an advantage.
I just see losing Taylor and Pittman.
But like you said, by that time we don't know where Beckham's going to be, and that's going to be a couple of weeks with Beckham in the system. So Beckham could easily be a plug and play there.
Could be. But again, I was just looking at, best case scenario, and best case scenario I got.
Best case scenario, Gary. Odell's going to be a good receiver, so he's going to plug and play easy.
Again, we don't know that.
Well, that's best case scenario, right? And then you're putting Robinson.
Yeah, well, we don't know where he's going to end up. I
know. Well, he's a free agent though, so he can end up wherever he wants.
Exactly.
But then you got Robinson taking over for Taylor, so that's not the worst thing in the world, right? Even though Tennessee's defense is really good, but still, like Robinson can still, upside he can still do okay, and then he's just looking at a flex.
So all right. Like I said, I got Gary winning. So in the end, I have Gary at 8-6.
I must be doing the math somewhere wrong because I have him.
He's 5-4. I'm losing against Terry, winning against Izzy.
8-5.
Losing against Zoe.
How is it 8-5? It had to be 9-5.
8-6. 8-6.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see where I have him not there, so that's a loss. So that's 5-5. Oh, that's why it's 6-5 here. Okay, so 6-5, 7-5. Yeah. And then 7-6. No, that'd be 8-6. I'm so confused. Oh no, I have him there. Okay, so that'd be 8-5. So I have him 8-6 as well. Okay. Just once again, I guess different victories and stuff.
Yeah, we just have. Yeah, you have someone and losing against someone. I have someone.
All right. So, all right, 8 and 6.
Next up is Izzy.
Izzy. Where is he? There we go. All right, Izzy.
We already talked about this with Kenny. I don't remember where you had him at, but I have him as a win versus Kenny.
So did I. And his record was what, 5-4 right now? So yeah. Be at 6-4. Okay.
We already talked about the Gary, right? I think he's going to lose to Gary.
I agree.
We already talked about him versus me. I gave him an L versus me.
I did as well, I believe. Yeah, week 12. Yep.
All right, and then D, I got him with a W against D.
Izzy, yep, I did as well.
All right, and then this is where AJ can fuck up some shit. I got him losing against AJ.
I don't. Let me put out that matchup and see what's going on with it. I mean, I'll have Rodgers back. I get it.
Rodgers, Barkley, Carson.
Yeah, you know what? When I look at the matchups, I could see it. Yeah, I agree. I could see AJ pulling that one.
Yeah, that's what's hard. When I was going through these, I had to remember that with AJ, I think Ayuk is starting to slowly, and we see the last game, Ayuk's slowly starting to get into good graces with him. And I like, Hopkins, Deontay Johnson, and Ayuk plus Javonte versus Detroit as well. Again, I think AJ's going to break some hearts there at the very end. So I got Izzy finishing at 7-7.
Yes, I would agree.
Next up is going to be Chris, which we already talked about that one between me and him. He gets an L for that.
Let me get there. Hold on.
I'm just trying to fill the dead air time, buddy.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. So we were looking at. I agreed. So Chris loses that one. Then
he plays D,
and I have him losing that one.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I have winning that
one. Here's my thing. I mean, he doesn't really have a number 2 running back that I feel great about in that matchup at all. I mean, you got Boston Scott.
Well, he's gonna have Gibson.
Okay, against Carolina, who's once again a good running defense. So I don't love that matchup. Right?
But Carolina is a good running defense, but again, it'd be different if they were putting up points and it stresses it. You can still run the ball against Carolina just with volume. Plus, in our league, the 0.25 for carry helps. But yeah, I still have them beating D.
No, I get D.
D. I mean, who does D have? I mean, at all besides Kamara and Jackson.
Well, I mean, he got. Jackson against Chicago could put up big numbers. Higgins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Higgins.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Higgins can be a good player. If we're looking on the upside, Higgins could do really well. Christian Kirk is a little bit too boom or bust for me, but Williams can have a good day.
No, Williams, Shea will be back by then. He won't even be able to start Williams.
Yeah, okay, that could be true for sure.
That's what I'm saying. So. Claypool right now, they're doing an MRI on his foot.
But
Claypool might not even be available.
He'll have Godwin back in his lineup.
Yeah, I understand that as well. But again, he just don't have the pieces.
I just don't like the matchups. I don't like. I don't like where he's at with his matchups. So I'm giving the W to D.
All right.
All right. Week 12. Him and AJ.
I'm giving him an L.
I don't see that. I know
Again,
Carson
you
should
gotta
be
remember
back.
Aaron Rodgers, Barkley, Carson.
I get it.
It's got to be reiterated.
No, I get that. I'm not disagreeing, but once again, those matchups. You got Rodgers versus the Rams, and they're going to have Von Miller fully underway by then. So I don't necessarily love Rodgers. I mean, he's not, impenetrable to having a bad game.
Yeah, but who are you worried about on Chris's team? I mean, he has Jeff. He has if something happens and Vikings just have a bad day. Now, 49ers defense is been horrid, but if something happens and they have a bad day, that without Jefferson and Dalvin Cook and Kittle. And let's see, Gibson going against Seattle.
Because here's the thing: the one thing about Minnesota is they may not win the game, but they're putting up a shit ton of points, no matter what. Like, no matter who they play, they're putting up the points. It's just their defense ain't stopping nobody. Their defense just can't stop anybody. That's the downside.
Well, again, I just think Chris is lacking. And if Barkley, Carson, then you put
AJ
then you
winning.
put Hopkins, then you put
AJ winning.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, I got AJ winning. So, all right, week 13. I got Chris losing. I'm going to beat him, I think.
I agree with that.
Okay.
What my notes here? What I have my notes. Chicken scraps. Hold on. What did I have in here? There's a reason for it. Oh no, I have him winning.
Yeah, I figured you would. That's why I was curious.
Yeah, I have him winning. That's where he has Detroit going against the Lions. Like, that should be a pretty big game for Jefferson and Cookson.
I agree, but I got Herbert and Allen versus Cincinnati, so I have them having a big game. And then Montgomery versus Arizona, I think he could do well there. So I feel pretty good about my chances. So I'm going with me on the W.
Let me look at this. Week 13, right?
Yeah.
Or week 14?
13.
No, you're right. Week 13. Week 13.
I have Robert Woods against Jacksonville in my lineup.
Yeah, but that could be easily Cuppet Henderson.
I know, but they're getting him involved. They're making it a point to make sure he's involved.
I see it. I definitely see it.
T.Y. Hilton could be fully healthy by then, finally, and he's going against Houston, so I could have him back in my lineup.
Yeah, mine was strictly that I think the Minnesota guys are going to have a big game against Detroit.
I get it. All right, let's move on to 14. Him versus Terry. Or no, that's me. Hold on.
Manny.
Him and Manny. Let me go back.
And we already talked about that. He's taking an L.
Did we talk about? Oh yeah, I did have Manny winning. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have him. I don't think I have him winning another game.
You don't have Chris winning another game? I'm winning 2.
I have Chris losing out.
Oh, interesting. 7-7.
All right, so if Chris loses out, hold on, let me look at this.
If he loses out, then he's at 5-9.
5-9, that's what I have on that. Sorry, Chris, don't be mad at me. And you have him at what? 7-7?
7-7.
Okay. All right, who's up next?
We got Bob.
We we already did Gary, right? Yeah.
No, he should be playing Zoe this week. I know. I said we already got.
I was looking at the records.
Yeah, we already did Gary. Yes.
So we got Bob.
I got it in order of our
okay
ranks. So Bob's next.
Yeah. So I got him winning.
Yeah, I got him beating Zoe.
All right. So he was at 5-4. So he'll go to 6-4. Okay.
No, it'll be 5-5.
I got Bob winning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's 4 and 5
he's
right
4
now.
and 5. You're right. Okay, my bad. Okay.
So then I got the next one is you. I have him winning that as well.
I have me winning that.
Just why? Why? I gotta hear why.
All right. Because I think Harris against Atlanta is going to be able to run all over that. Hold on, let me show my bench. Woods is on a bye.
Yeah, but Harris. I mean, if Harris don't get some touchdowns, and just last week,
they're giving him the ball.
I mean, I know he got injured, but
they're giving him the ball.
I understand, but still, all right. So Harris against Atlanta. All right, what else?
I got man.
There is no way. I mean, I can't say no way again. Where anything can happen, but as of right now, as it stands, I just don't see how you're.
I think I just need to win, so I'm going to put myself there. You know.
All right, fair enough. But I got him winning that
one. Yeah, he might be able to pull that one out.
Again, he's got a good team, man.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're just, I mean, Taylor against Buffalo. That's going to be a tough one. Jacobs versus Cincinnati should be okay. Robinson versus San Francisco might be a tough one.
No, it's not, dude. The Niners, I don't know where you get this, but the Niners can be run on pretty easily.
Yeah, all right, I'll change it. I'll give Bob the win, unfortunately, and that's going to hurt me. Week 11. I was trying to, keep myself in this shit.
I know, but you got to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, all right. I'll give Bob that one. That's fine. All right. So that puts Bob's record at 6 and 5.
I got him beating Kenny, which we already talked about.
I agree on that one. So we'll skip that one. So that's 7 and 5 for Bob.
And then against Gary, which we already talked about as well, I gave him an L.
And I think I gave him the W, didn't I?
I can't remember.
No, wait. I got Gary on there. So you sure they're playing against each other that week?
Yeah, week 14. Yep. You can double check, cross-reference, check notes.
We're on week 13, aren't we?
No, Manny was week 13.
And we got him winning.
Yep. And then I have him losing against Gary.
I have him beating Gary. So
for me, that puts him at 8 and 6.
All right. So that gives me him at.
If you have winning every game, yeah.
9 and 5. Okay, so.
Next up is Zoe.
9 and 5, and then 8 and 6. Next up is Zoe. All right, so where is Zoe here? Sweeney Todd. All right, so we already said we have him losing this matchup.
Correct.
All right.
Kenny, I have him. We already talked about that. I have him beating Kenny.
And I think I went the other. No, I switched it. I think I did put Zoe, right?
I believe so.
No, I kept Kenny.
All right.
Yep. So I got Kenny winning that one.
I'm losing to Gary.
So do I.
And then I have him losing to me. You don't have McCaffrey.
So do I.
And I'm beating D.
And I agree. So I have him winning one more game.
Yep, I'm winning 2 more. So that'll put him at 6 and 8.
So I have him at 5 and 9. And you have him at 6 and 8. All right. And then that's me next.
Sliding over. Let me double check. Yep, you're next.
All right. So
I have you winning this week against AJ.
So do I. So that will put me at, I'm at what, 3 and 6? So that'll put me at 4 and 6.
And we just talked about Bob, so I have you losing against Bob.
I agree.
We already talked about the Manny saying I have you losing against Manny.
And I have me winning.
I have you losing, which we already talked about. I have you losing against Chris, which you have yourself winning.
Yep.
And then I have you losing to Terry.
And I agree. So I win, 3 more games?
I have you winning one more. So you're 4 and 10.
Let me figure out 1, 2, 3. I have myself winning 3 more. So that put me at 6 and 8.
I have you as 4 and 10.
And you got me as 4 and 10. All right. So right now, with that being said, I am definitely not in the playoffs if it breaks out this way. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that puts me. Yep, that puts me out of the playoffs, motherfucker. Hopefully miracles happen because they can.
Hey, injuries, a trade. Hey, there's always a trade out there, Sick. We talked about one earlier.
Yeah. All right. So now we got D.
Yep. We already talked about Manny. I have him as a loss. We already talked about Chris. I have him as a loss. We talked about Kenny. I have him as a loss. We talked about Izzy. I have him as a loss. We talked about Zoe. I have him as a loss. I don't think fucking D wins again going forward.
I got D winning 1 game.
So, which game? Which one was it?
It was the week 11, which is.
So you have him against Chris.
Yeah, I haven't beaten Chris.
I don't have him winning another game.
So I got him winning 1 more. So his record is now 2 and 7. So he ends up.
I have him as 2 and 12. You should have him at 3 and 11.
Yep. All right. 2 and 12. And then last, AJ. We already went over all the matchups. So where did we have AJ at? We had AJ. No, there.
I have him losing to you, losing to Manny, but then I am winning against Chris, Terry, and Izzy.
I got to win in 2 more games, so that puts him at 3 and 11. And you have him winning how many?
3. So I have him at 4 and 10.
4 and 10.
Again, based off my records, like the game between Chris and Izzy are going to be fucking crucial for them guys.
So right now we have. So the way I have it, this is just by my standings, and I hope they're wrong, but I have Terry taking the first seed. I have you and Manny and Bob fighting for the second seed. It will come out to points, so I have no idea who's going to get it. But bottom line is it'll be second, third, and fourth is locked in with you, Manny, and Bob. Then you have rounding out the playoffs. Then would be Gary and Kenny as 5 and 6, and Izzy on the outside looking in at 7th with 7 and 7 record. You have you and Terry fighting for that first overall spot based on points. Then you got Manny coming in 3rd, and then you have
me. I know I have
you and Terry finished 10 and 4. That's what you have.
Oh, where did I see? I must have switched up while we talked. Because I have Terry being 10 and 4. All right. Yeah. Oh, I said I'm going to beat Terry. That's why.
Yeah, and I disagreed. But so you guys are both at 10 and 4. Bottom line. So you guys are fighting for the playoff You guys are both getting a bye. It's about who gets the first seed. That's all. So you have you and him getting a bye. We got Manny in the 3rd spot locked in, and then you have 3rd. That'd be 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then you have Kenny, Gary, and Bobby rounding out the last 3 spots. With once again Izzy stuck at 7 on the outside looking in.
But I also have Chris at 7 and 7 as well. But I don't think Chris will catch up in points.
It won't matter because he's still 7th. Because it's still 7th and 8th. It won't matter.
Yeah, but if they're both, I have them both at 7 and 7.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if they're both 7th. It's 7th and 8th.
Yeah,
standing.
and then it comes down to points.
No, there is no.
So, but when I did mine,
But who cares if they're not in the playoffs? It doesn't matter what their points are.
Yeah, but if I have them as yeah, I see what you're talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
But again, anything can happen. But
yeah, but I'm saying now by your standings, neither of them are in. Doesn't matter what their points are because you had Kenny, Gary, and Bobby all at 8 and 6, and they're taking the last 3 spots because you got you, Terry, and Manny in the top 3.
Correct.
Yeah. So
that's I was when I said it earlier, I was like I think the golden number is 8 wins gets you in, and I think that's what. Based off what we just did, so that's the magic number.
If I can win out, except for Gary or Terry, which we both agree I'm not going to win that one. But if I can win out the next 4 games, I could have a chance to get in because now I'm hurting other people's records.
Correct.
So, but
a trade,
we have the same 6 people.
Good.
Yeah, we have the same 6 people. Basically, is what it comes down to.
Correct, as of right now.
Yeah.
Yes. And again, this is doing it with 5 weeks left. COVID, injuries, trades.
You don't know. So
nobody. But we're just doing this based off. Oh, please take it to heart, you pussies.
Pussies.
So, but yeah, that's how I have it. And who do you think will be the point leader at the end of this season? I put a little note for that for me.
I haven't got to look into it much. But I mean, without looking into it too deep, my money always goes on Terry.
No, mine's on Manny.
Okay.
I think Manny wins the point championship.
Okay.
Again, very good team, man. I think that trade Zoe did to get McCaffrey was a huge, huge turning point for Manny. I think if Manny would have stayed at the 101, I think we could be talking a little bit different. But
yeah, there's a lot of different what ifs on with that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's hard to.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying from that he ended up, and that's what Tyreek Hill not doing. Tyreek Hill shit.
Yeah,
and we all know Tyreek Hill can easily put up.
I mean, we're also saying, like I say, we're saying this in retrospect, like. If McCaffrey didn't get hurt with what McCaffrey was doing, Zoe would be in where Manny is. You know what I mean? Like, so you can say that because he got hurt. But if he didn't get hurt, you're not saying that about the whole trade. Now, I'm not saying Manny's still not going to be doing well, but Zoe's team was looking amazing until McCaffrey went down. Was it not?
No.
That's not true.
I mean, he has.
He was
what are you talking about?
He was in top of the league.
But even with McCaffrey going down, his other wide receivers like Jamar Chase has been killing it.
Yeah, so he'd still be killing it.
But then what about his other running back or wide receivers like Marvin Jones?
Listen, I'm just saying he put up 205 in week 1. Okay, he put up.
Yeah, but his team was completely different there with trades.
What trades have happened?
Dude, Zoe's did more trades than anybody, I think, in the league. I stopped taking track of it, but I think Zoe during the season has done more trades than anybody. So
the majority of his team has been pretty.
What was his team week 1?
Pretty standard here. Hold on, I'll tell you.
Tell me his team week 1.
All right, hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to go back a week here. Oh, here.
All you gotta do is go to matchups.
I'm going there. I'm going to. So week 1, he had Stafford, Myers, Cooks, Jones, McCaffrey, Henderson, Hawkinson, and Tyshawn Williams.
All right, that's why he scored that much.
Hold on, Jamar Chase was on the bench. Okay, Daryl Mooney.
So he doesn't have Henderson no more.
Okay, so hold on. So I'm going to look at week 2. Week 2, he still had Henderson then. Okay. Week 3, that's probably the game McCaffrey went down. And he still had Henderson. I think Henderson went down that game too. He got hurt for that week. Week 4. Yeah, so that's the hard thing because he made moves based on injuries. You know what I mean? Like, so it's so hard to judge because if McCaffrey doesn't go down, does he feel the need to make those trades? So it's all in retrospect. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I understand it.
Yeah.
And again,
and when he traded Henderson was hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You can't really judge it.
Luck plays a part in it.
Yeah,
where
but I'm just saying, I don't think that trade that him and Manny made was that big of a deal. I don't really see it that way. If you look at his team when he started the season, because that was before the trade happened, Zoe had a great team. You know what I'm saying? So that trade with Manny wasn't the difference maker. It might helped Manny create a good team, but it didn't keep Zoe from having a great team.
But we've seen him do it last year, and we've seen him do it this year, where, again, I understand he's trying to make moves, and it's something that I dialed back from a lot, is trying to trade as much. And then, again, our trade deadline is when?
Like 2 weeks?
I think as of right now, it's after this week.
It might be.
But it should be pushed back. I think normally we're like 3 weeks out of the playoffs where trades can be done. I mean, shit, or we can keep it this way to where it's like, hey, motherfuckers, you got to make a decision now or never.
Trade end date, November 20th.
Oh, okay, so we have 2 more weeks.
Yeah, so we're good.
I have no problem with that because it's now or never, motherfuckers. Scared money don't make money.
All
that
right.
goes for you as well, Sheckman.
Yes,
you know the offer that I sent you.
Yeah. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank Mr. Filter for joining the show. As always, it's a pleasure. And
hey, yeah. if you don't like where we place you, do something about it. That's all I can say. I think Izzy's team is a good team, and I think he's on the fringe. I think he could easily take over Gary because Diggs hasn't been doing much, and without Henry, you don't have those monsters like monster games with Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
And
I agree. The trade he made I think after the trade he made with you, he's in a much better position to have a chance.
Who do you think that's outside of, because we both have the top 6 as the same.
Yeah.
Who do you think outside the top 6 has the best chance to make it? It's Izzy for me.
I'd say me.
Minus yourself. Yeah, okay. No shit. I knew you.
Well, yeah, of course I got Izzy as the best chance because I got Chris as 5 and 9. So it's not like I don't got Chris close.
I don't think Chris. I again, this is where I hope you listen to this, Chris. This is what hinders you, dude. Is that, yeah, you have good players in Jefferson, and I'm not telling you to fucking just scoop up something, but Chris could make some noise if he made a trade with either Jefferson or Cooks for the right players.
I agree. I think his problem is like you said, he's relying on one team. If that team has a bad outing, he's fucked. And that's where you're, like you say, trade somebody from that team.
It has to be Jefferson or Cook.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. To get another great player or a good player from
but
another
with
team.
With our league right now, and there's a few of us that, scour our leagues over. I'm one of them. And what I've realized scouring all the teams, either 2 things are going to happen, Shaq. Either someone's going to make a dumb trade. Kitty, I'm talking to you. Don't fucking drink and trade, because there's been a few trades that Kitty has been, had a buzz, felt confident, did some stupid shit. But there are a few teams that can make a trade here or there and change this whole fucking scenario that we just laid out. So I think Izzy's team is good, and if he hits the right things, then I think Izzy could easily jump into the playoffs. So I personally think the top. I think Terry is safe, 100%. Nothing, unless he gets major injuries. Terry is fucking safe. I think Manny is safe, bearing major injuries.
Well, let's take injuries out, because that's a big thing. So right now, what you're basically saying is the difference between the way it looks today and the way it looks at the end is between Izzy and Bobby. Bobby is a game behind Izzy right now. Izzy is currently in the 6th seed. But
yeah,
Bobby,
I truly think it comes down to Gary, Izzy, and Bobby.
Right now, Gary is in a great position with points.
Yes, but now it all determines on Kareem Hunt. Does Kareem Hunt come back and continue doing what he was doing with anywhere from 16 to 20 plus points.
Yeah. So, but like I said, Gary's advantage is points. That's why I see him being fine. He's up, almost 100 points on Izzy. He's up 80 points on Izzy right now.
Yeah, but that could change. Look at this week. Look at the games that happened this week. Look how many people scored low points.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So
Izzy just changed a shit ton of points this week, scoring what he scored.
Yeah. So all right, let's wrap it up. We already have the first half, and this half's already pushing an hour. So it's gonna be hard for me to put this. Other than on the internet.
Money don't make money, bitches.
All right, you heard it here first. All right, guys, we out.